1, 2, 3. Cocks don't pop at all, poppycock cocks do poppy by 4. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills. They won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take a Trey. To flock on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pins. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock kin. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.
Oh, and welcome. And by the way, the king is dead. Long live the king. Well, good morning, Poppy Peepers, and Karen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming back and visiting with me. As Rose 777 continues on her respite, I think she'll hopefully be back with us before too long. I hear that she's on the mend and getting some rest, so I'm glad to hear that she is doing better by the day. It has been a real struggle for her. Yeah, so hopefully she'll be back with us soon. I can't wait to hear her effervescent and affluent personality.
Me either.
Because she's like,
her.
Because she's
Rose.
like, woo, and I'm always like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, it's cool. I was telling Karen before we began this morning how almost inevitably and invariably I will spend the weekend gathering up bits of news articles going, oh, what a great bit of poppycock. Oh, yeah, I got to totally use that. People will send stuff, we'll go through some things, and then, of course, by midday Monday, there's a whole new news cycle of poppycock. They started all over. What happened, Karen?
They're just bombarding us.
Yeah.
It's like they've got like a perpetual load of poppycock giant trucks.
It's a perpetual poppycock machine. That's right. I think it is sort of like it's sort of like Soylent Poppycock. We just keep eating the same bullshit. They just keep feeding us the same bullshit over and over.
And then poop it out and then eat it again.
Eat it again.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's definitely super poppycocky. There is a whole bunch of the poppycockiness to get through this morning. I'll begin here locally. Let's switch over here and do that. So just yesterday and overnight, 12 people arrested, 2 cars impounded after blocking lanes on I-5 in Seattle. They're not going to let the BLM thing die, apparently. I mean, that's old news at this point, but they continue to do it, but not with impunity so much. They arrested him right away, and so they didn't let him get away with that. To give you some context, let's see if I can point you to where this is in Seattle, which is, here in Washington State. Zoom in here. So we got this weird spot here where I-5, which is the major thoroughfare that comes right down through the city. And it actually goes down to one lane at one point, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, that's pretty much where they're doing it, is right there where it squeezes down.
Oh, man.
To try, yeah, so they did it on the feeder lanes right in here, right there at Union Square and Freeway Park. So those little bastards, but they did come and get them. So I recommend that if you wanted to say something about this, go get a T-shirt. It says "Fuck the fucking fuckers" right there. Go to Mojo Shop, Flat Earth Print Shop at Etsy. Right there, you can find it without too much difficulty. If not, as Mark Sargent said, you're not very good at the internet. So go to Etsy and find a T-shirt that says "Fuck the fucking fuckers." There you go. I make nothing off that, just the pride that you're wearing a T-shirt, as I do. I wear this shirt with pride. It says "Fuck the fucking fuckers." Because all right. So they're going to
very poignant.
It is. It's and it's short. It's to the point, right? It wastes no verbiage.
That's right.
It is not circumlocucious.
Maximum effect with minimum words.
There you go. Kaboom. It has a megaton yield right there. Kaboom. Fuck the fucking fuckers. And it did it without a hashtag. So even there. I mean, I now do it just hashtag FTFF, but that's for those who know. Right, that's the esoteric meaning. All right. The exoteric meaning is fight the freaking football. I guess I don't know because the news now telling us how Trump will hand off the nuclear football to Biden. Because I saw this morning and I went, oh yeah, nuclear. Oh yeah, there's that hoax still going on. People still believe that shit. Oh yeah, I forgot. People still believe that nonsense. So we got that going, which is nice.
Yeah.
Can Biden contain the flames lit by Trump? Yeah. What are you kidding? You mean the flames that you guys started and now you want to pour gasoline onto? Great question. Yeah. It's like, I wonder what they'll do. Says the media that specifically, So here's an interesting story that's developing, and that's what I want to kind of tie into this morning because it is guaranteed to create all kinds of confusion, which is what they love to do. So this is what we're going to see, and I pretty much, again, I don't like to prognosticate, but I'm going to use this to point out where. I guess my prognostications have been accurate in the past, and at least to point out where we're going here in the future, at least the way I see it. So you're going to see probably more come of this Pelosi laptop deal. Now, are you familiar with this at all, Karen?
Yes.
Okay.
Supposedly they stole the laptops when they raided the Capitol.
Yep. All right. So what do you know about it? Because this is the first I'm hearing about it this morning because I try to stay away from it, frankly. All right. So
I'll
tell
be
me
honest,
what you know.
I don't know too much about it. I just know that I've seen that they went through and they were taking selfies in the offices,
right?
And then they stole the laptops.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much the story as far as I can tell. That's what they're leaking out there right now. But they're making it convoluted really quickly, right? Which is that's where I kind of raise my eyebrow and go, what's going on here? Because they always do that with any one of these disingenuous events. You'll see the narrative change very quickly, right? 4 shooters, 2 shooters, 1 shooter. Oops, and he's dead. Whoops, he killed himself. Sorry about that. So you're gonna see this sort of thing occur. So now here's the counter narrative already floating out here on AFP Fact Check and boom here Snopes. The elite U.S. forces take Nancy Pelosi's during Capitol riots, right? So now it's U.S. forces, not wherever that gal is here. This chick, right, is the one that we're told is accused of taking Riley June Williams is accused of taking a laptop from the office of Pelosi. And irrespective of whether or not any portion of this story is legitimate, and we'll have to look at this in various ways, because I'm of the mind, we'll just put it out there at the beginning, that this is entirely poppycock. This is she either doesn't exist or it's an asset. It's not real. Even if it was, I would point out that this indicates how stupid people are, and I'll point out why. All right. So here we have this gal, again, whose former romantic partner says she took the laptop from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office. So, again, not knowing whether it belonged to Pelosi or not, just from the office, with the idea that she's going to sell it to Russia.
What?
No, I shit thee not. Here we go. So here's what we're being told here. Of course, they're saying it was a laptop that was only used for presentations. I would buy that if it were a legitimate story, but I just don't buy it. And I'll show you why here in a moment. But here we have this, that she was going to. Said that she was going to, where is that? Oh, yes. The caller alleged that she intended to sell the device to a friend in Russia. She had a friend in Russia who then planned to sell it to that country's foreign intelligence service, but that plan fell through. Well, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you might say, yes, this is the cockamamie plan of some dumb kids. Okay, I could probably on the one hand buy that, right? But keep in mind that it just goes with this whole Russia narrative, right? That they've been pushing, and that just is so classic. The way that they push the narrative, right? It's just it goes with Friends. You might as well be watching an episode of Friends. It's just nonsense because they're not even very creative anymore. Right. So because now we got a laptop. So here we have, it's a video of her taking a laptop or a hard drive from Pelosi's office. Well, what? How can you not tell the difference?
Right.
I mean, I don't work for the CIA, and I can tell the difference between a laptop and a hard drive. How about you? How about you, Karen?
Yeah, it's very, very easy to tell the difference.
You can tell the difference between a laptop. So, I mean, if you could say a piece of electronic hardware, okay, but they're being rather specific here, right? Her father lives in Camp Hill. So here's some of these other problems here that her mother told local law enforcement that her daughter had taken a sudden interest in President Donald Trump politics and far-right message boards, quote. If that doesn't raise your red flag hackles up to say that this is a psyop, then you're not very good at this thing.
Yeah.
Right? If the mother says, in talking to law enforcement about her own daughter, right? Oh, I don't know. She had a sudden interest in Donald Trump politics and these far-right message boards. Absolute nonsense. First of all, it's very unlikely that any parent is going to throw their kid under the bus, irrespective of what they did. They're not going to just go to law enforcement and the media and go, gee, I don't know. They just suddenly started liking to eat babies. I don't know. They just started talking about it all the time and saying, gee, I got a hankering for an infant. Seen any infants around lately? It's pathetic. But here's, I think, what's more pathetic is that they expect people to buy it, and what's even more pathetic than that is that they do.
Yeah.
And so here we link. This is the original story, and you see it comes from 6 Action News. But again, so Pennsylvania woman accused, right? So this comes from a local news outlet, but it's been delivered by CIA or whatever intel operative, right? That gives him this. You notice this little ear up here, looking for all the world like a little elf. Mm-hmm. They love to do that little number. I'm surprised they didn't have one eye covered, No, but anyway, so they deliver this package and then they tack their own little message on the end, right? So here we have a Lehigh Valley man arrested, and he was arrested for charges for his alleged involvement in the riot. What did he do? Well, Craig Bingert turned himself in on Sunday because he's a dangerous combatant. The FBI said he worked with other rioters to shove a barricade into police officers. He then helped lift it up in an apparent attempt to break through the police line. That bad boy. This guy right here.
You mean the police line where they walked out of the way and let everybody through, that police line?
That one, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so this guy has been a very naughty boy. And you can tell that this is the new face of scourge upon America. This is the threat in America right now, is guys like this, this simp, incel. That's what you have to look forward to. So this is how it's going to go, right? So, all right, let's kind of put all these little connect the dots here. So you're kidnapping me. So we have an anti-mask activist busted in Florida bagel shop. All right, so we're going to tie again Florida man and this narrative together as well. All right, an outspoken anti-mask activist in Florida was arrested for refusing to put on a face covering at a bagel shop with a wild video. As soon as you read the article, you can tell that this is just going to be nonsense. Cindy Falco Corrado of Boynton Beach was arrested Thursday, but the whole thing in this is they're selling this video. They want you to go see this video. But more than that, video of the encounter posted to a, quote, Crazy Karen's Instagram account. So this whole thing, this article is entirely... Right, and look at this. She's entirely clad in leopard print. You don't think this is a setup? Look at this gal. You think this is just an innocent bystander catches this video? Look at this.
Yeah.
You don't think that this is a contrivance? And so the whole thing here is to sell this Crazy Karen's Instagram account. Right.
Right.
That's what the whole point is here. So you can go, where you have, likely dozens of others who are just like it. People going, acting like retards. I'm sorry. I used the R word. I'm sorry. But so people using the, acting like R words out there. So that you can mock them, right? So you're supposed to go mock and shame anybody who doesn't do the things. So that's what we got going. So GoFundMe is banning fundraising for travel expenses used for potentially violent political events. This guy, I fucking hate this guy. There's so few people that I really just I dislike. This is one of them. I just throat punch this little wanker. Anyway, the point here is GoFundMe, just like we see the other platforms, they're all going to deplatform any alternative narrative. So here, again, whether it's going to be GoFundMe, whether it's going to be Patreon or any of the other services that help to fund people like, content creators like myself. I mean, I have a Patreon. I haven't even launched it yet. My wife keeps getting on me like that. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm not really doing it yet, so I'm not really doing it. She's like, well, you can't do it. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, they're shoving everybody out the door. And I've watched over the last, year as they have been just the litany of people that they have deplatformed on every social media platform, but as well as the funding. Right, because the risk of violence by the attendees. That's the idea here, right, is that they're, again, pushing for the notion that anybody who takes a position that is counter to the official narrative is a violent combatant. And that's the nature of this article here. Violent hate groups, Proud Boys, right? So, and then, this Officer Brian Sidenicks, not like sidekick, right? Come on. People, really? Members of right-wing militias, extremist groups are latest charged in Capitol siege with this lovely image here to tie that in. So designed to elicit an emotion. And anytime that you see that they're designed to elicit an emotion, you know that you're being manipulated. So here you have manipulation of your emotions from, guess who? NPR. So...
Oh, yeah.
Amazon to remove QAnon products from platform after a U.S. Capitol siege. Well, nobody who really studies this stuff follows that. And lately, of course, I've seen, and I commented about this over the weekend, about people saying, "Oh, well, if you dismiss QAnon, you're a baby truther." I'm like, what? Upside down world? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have very poor discernment if you continue to follow that narrative. Is there truth in it? Well, sure. You don't put out traps without bait in it.
Exactly.
Dumb fuck. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that, but it's like, does Alex Jones tell the truth? Sometimes, yeah. He puts a lot of stuff out there that's truth. How do you think you draw him in? Right? You tell some of the truth and then you act crazy. That's what controlled opposition does. Or you bring him in and then you give him some other thing that's bullshit. That's what Q does, right? That's what it is. So is there truth in it? Of course there is. Or there wouldn't be anybody following. If they only told nonsense, nobody would follow it. or it would just be an entirely far left agenda. No, I'm sorry. Wait. That's for the liberal left. It's for people who believe anything. Sorry. That was not nice. I'm sorry. People just believe whatever they're told. If it goes against their all of their senses, right? Then you're far left. Anyway, yeah. So Amazon to remove QAnon products. This is not just QAnon products, guys. What this is they're saying you don't have a right to exist in our society. If you don't buy the narrative, if you don't believe what we tell you, if you don't get the shot, if you don't take the jab, if you don't wear the mask, wear the diaper, if you don't do what we tell you, if you don't walk around with your finger up your ass, then you don't get to play. You don't get to play ball. So you're going to go home. Is it mandatory? No, it's entirely voluntary. But you have to have the passport to shop, to come into our store, to be in polite society. You're going to have to play this game. And they're telling you this over and over and over, right? And not just that you cannot play, but you're going to be a threat that is to be taken seriously. Threat from violent extremist groups remains high, says Senator Schumer. Speaking of high, that fucking guy. Anyway, yeah, this is where we're at. Right. And this is what I think that we'll continue to see unabated over the coming, I'll say months. It may not even be that long. We may not get until the end of March before they have begun legislation placing criminal charges or criminal liability on people like us who say no and say fuck the fucking fuckers and say you're lying to us. Right. At this point, we are being, our liberty is being threatened. And not just freedom. Fuck, nobody in our generation has ever experienced freedom, ever.
Right.
Right. But liberty, they're curtailing your liberty simply because you don't believe their lies. And they're just standing there lying to you, to your face, and going, nope, you got to believe our lies. Say, 2 + 2 is 3. 2 plus, say it, Winston. Say it. 2 plus 2
exactly.
is 3. That's where we are right now. 2 plus 2 is 3. Say it, Winston. Say it. And if this doesn't, piss you off, like Brian Jackson and Steve Federer said, right, in chat, Doc Michael, fuck the fucking fuckers, right? Fuck these guys. You can. I've got an enormous satchel of Richards that you can chomp on.
Yes.
I've had it. I really have had it though, because this is bullshit, man. I don't play Satan Says. I don't know who started that, but I like it. Fuck these guys. They're bullshit. And again, I don't care at this point if we were wrong, right? I mean, so what if we're fucking crazy? Who cares? Isn't that our right to be fucking nuttier and crazy? Look at Pelosi. She's fucking battier and nuttier than a fruitcake, right? Bats in her belfry. Why don't I get to be crazy, right? If I want to think that the Earth is not a spinning ball, what's it to you? Right? Why do you care? Right? Why do you care if I don't want to get a shot? Right? You can't prove that it's any good. You can't prove that your mask works. Prove it. You can't prove it. You can't prove anything. Right? All you got to go on is force. And force only comes from a place of fear. Right? Because you can't control me. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Amen to that.
Fuck, man. Fuck you guys. I'm just so done. Like, I just had it. And yeah, who knows what'll happen to me in the coming weeks. And you too, NSA guys. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Knock, knock. Go fuck yourself. Had enough of you bullshit. It's pissing me off, man. Sorry. Because they're fucking with my friends, man. I mean, it's like, fucking with Mac and trying to take his freedom away. For what, right? Fucking with people trying to take their freedom away. For what? Because we're not going to do your stupid bullshit? Because we're not lame and we won't lay down? Right? So, again, I got to say, kudos to all you guys who won't do what they tell you to. Right? This is where, the people I want to be with, people say, fuck you. I'm not doing this bullshit, man. Not going to lay down, right? I'm just not going to fucking lay down and die to your, not going to kowtow to your bullshit. It's horse shit. And it's all a bunch of fucking lies. All right. Sorry. I've gone off the fucking rails now. You guys have finally done it. You got Baldini fucking going nuts. All right. Let's get back to the bullshit here. Poppycock. All right. Dinosaur remains likely to be found on the moon. If you don't believe, how about this fucking cartoon?
Oh my God, no. I thought you just made that up. You were joking.
No, not fucking joking. This is what I'm talking about. This is why.
Holy fucking shit.
This is why, Karen, I can't do this bullshit anymore. Look at this fucking cartoon. And dinosaur remains going to be on the moon. They've traveled. The animals which inhabited our planet are likely to have traveled to outer space. I need nature love. Thanks, Saul. I need something.
Oh
my God.
God.
I know, right? I may have even reached Mars. Damn, that's some good shit.
May have traveled to outer space on debris caused by the asteroid that wiped them out. Wow.
Ooh, that's good shit. And look at this picture. I mean, that is...
So they're going to tell you a big rock hit the Earth and it blasted dinosaur bones to the moon?
Yep. Yep.
That's fucking funny.
Right? Is that the shit or
shit?
what? I mean, come on, man. And I see, like, I'm trying to find somebody put their name on it. I would be embarrassed to put my name on that shit. I don't see a byline here. Nope.
Joshua Smith?
No, I don't think they'd do it. Come on.
It said up at the top, it said by what?
Oh, Joshua Smith. Oh my God, he did. He put his name on it. Holy shit. No way. Oh my God. Joshua Smith, you are fucking the R word. Holy shit, man. That is some poppycock distillate right there. That's good stuff, man. Holy shit.
Pure unadulterated poppycock.
Oh, man. Wow, that's good stuff. All right. There's more good shit.
Poppycock in its crystalline form.
Yes, exactly. Pure crystalline form. Clock ticked toward release of UFO report as emergency relief bill forces U.S. intelligence agency to reveal the knowledge of the UFO. The chicken people. So, yeah, that's... because, RT. Gorillas in U.S. zoo test positive for COVID-19 and the world's first suspected human-to-animal transmission. Karen. Come on, man.
This is crazy.
This reminds me of, way back in the day. So it's kind of it just shows you how the world has changed a little bit over time, right? The sensibilities were different in the 1950s, and there was a zookeeper at the St. Louis Zoo, and he'd become particularly fond of one of the female gorillas there, and they kind of bonded, right, over time. Well, they were having trouble getting the female gorilla to mate, and so over time she just rejected all potential suitors, and so they were trying to get her to mate. And as she got older, they didn't know what to do about it. So they finally came up with hatched this crazy plan that they would. She was fond for this guy, and so they thought maybe if they put the two together, get her in the mood, and they could get her to breed with this guy, and they kind of get some actual gorilla stuff in there, sneak it in there. And so they came up with this plan. I know it's embarrassing, it's shocking, right? They finally, but they did approach him with it, and so they didn't have a big budget, so they said that they would, get $50 really was all they could afford at the time. So no, I mean, and could have been $500, but probably I think they didn't really have much. I think it was $50 is what they had. So anyway, they approached him with this idea that they were going to do this, and so he listened to him. He wasn't the brightest guy. He's just a kind of groundskeeper there anyway. So he listened, and he said, well, he would have to think about it. It was a big, big thing that they were asking him, but he was particularly fond of the gorilla, so he would. he would go home and sleep on it. Well, he did. He came back the next day and he said that he had agreed to it under 2 conditions. And the first is that they would not tell anyone ever. And they agreed to that because it was fairly compromised. And the second condition, of course, was that they'd give him a week or so to come up with the $50. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Well, I mean, look at the world around us. Could it be that much different? I mean, it's funny that the chat's going to catch up and then they're going to want to slap me. Everybody's just going to leave all at once. Like the current viewer is going to be like, go from 150 to like 2. It'll be like, oh, okay. Sorry. I know how to clear a room. Yeah. So Washington State to broaden coronavirus vaccine access in the coming days, which means that just means they're going to come after us and broadening access. That means you don't have any excuse not to. For people age 70 and older, it says, but they're now doing research into, why people are dying. I noticed a few things in our delightful map here. We have Alec Baldwin leaving Twitter after uproar over hilaria. So we got that going. This one, the Super Puff Planet. Come on, Karen. It's a Super Puff.
Super Puff?
Yep, it's the Super Puff Planet. Come on, Fox News right there. Look at that.
Just the stoner planet?
Scooby Snacks.
Hey, I'll be right back.
You got
My
it.
children are here.
You got it. All right, so Karen has been gifted with some children. The stork has arrived. And woo! All right. So a super puff planet, unlike any other found in deep space, could change how we explore the universe because it's like a little stopover. As they just stop over there and get super baked because if you believe that shit, you're already high. Yeah. So we have this all going, which is nice. It is. It is, right? It's getting heavy to deal with all the negative energy. I apologize, right? It has, let's talk about that for a moment, shall we? Because it has been a wild ride. The last year, right? And perhaps this is this is the result, right, of what they've asked of us, is that if we don't, believe what they tell us, then we should be angry at what they tell us. So one way or the other, they get us. Perhaps that's the case, right? I know for me personally, as often as I try to, keep my eye on the ball, stay focused, sometimes it is necessary for me to get angry, I guess. It says in Scripture, be angry, but sin not. It is a powerful motivator to correct injustice, enough to, perhaps, again, get me up and motivated. Perhaps it works that way for you too. Maybe not. Maybe it causes you to spiral out of control. I don't know. I generally don't stay there. I don't stay in a state of rage, but at some at some points, I do have to just kind of go, what the fuck is going on here, man? Because I do. I try to keep an even keel about this stuff and just kind of keep my eye on the ball and watch what's going on. But it is, I think at this point, pretty obvious. A couple of things, right, is that the powers that be have put a target directly on us. Right, those of us who do not accept or buy their narrative. And welcome back, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Say hello to the stork for me, since the stork, brought the children for you. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I was in your absence, Karen. I was just sort of apologizing for having sort of gone off a little bit, but saying that sometimes it's necessary to provide a little bit of motivation, right? To not just sit there and watch it, because I think that there is a danger in that of just watching it happen until it's too late, until there is no, it's all over but the crying, and there's no opportunity for change.
Right.
So is it possible that we can, change the whole world and get everybody to come to, see things our way and rainbows and butterflies? It seems unlikely, but it doesn't mean that we can't at least prevent them from doing it to us and agreeing with them. And I make no agreement that gives them consent. And if it comes to it, and again, I mean, there may be folks here who don't like it and think it's kind of bummery or negative energy, but I am going to die standing up than live on my knees. That's never going to happen, and that does seem to be, we're getting closer and closer to that situation. And I'm sure that the opposing side would take that comment to mean that I'm looking for it or I'm causing it, and that's certainly not the case, right? I just want to be left the fuck alone.
Exactly.
As do most of us, right? And you fuckers are unwilling to just let it be, right? You want us to do your shit your way, and we're not down with your shit your way, right? So leave us the fuck alone. And if you won't, then we have a problem, and that problem is going to come to its, to its end. So I recommend you just leave us the fuck alone. Right? You do you. You do you, and leave me the fuck alone. And me and my friends will go out and we'll do our thing, and you do your thing, right? And we don't want none of your shit. We don't need none of your shit. Don't need it, right? You go off and play. We'll go off and play. We'll be fine. I pretty much guarantee that they won't play that game, but it's a good offer. It's a good offer. I'd take it if I were you.
Yeah.
Leave us the fuck alone, right? So you're right, Rob. They are escalating this, and in fact, they instigated it. They're not just escalating it; they instigated it. And so, but again, by God, I will finish it one way or the other. Right? Probably by myself. That's all right. I expect it, but yeah, I've had enough. That's bullshit. So I didn't know if it would. I didn't realize it would come this quickly. When they really started pushing it, but here we are. And again, I'm sure I could be accused of a lot of things, and fear porn and talking. I mean, look around you. It ain't me, man.
Yeah.
I didn't start this bullshit. Guarantee it.
No, none of us did.
Right? I just want, like I said, I just want to be left alone, and they won't have it. And so conversations I've had over the last few days, right, is how to maintain communication with other like-minded individuals when they choose to break this all up, right? Because as much as people seem to be under the misapprehension of what the internet is, it's not like our actual real space. It's virtual. There's no place to hide there. They own all of it. It's like a virtual playground. There's not a place you could go in there that they, it's not like you can hide in a cave somewhere, right? That they own all of it. There's dark web or whatever. That's all there. It's all theirs. There's no place that they don't have control of, and that they can't see and own the backbone of. So there's that. So it's going to take, if you want actual conversation, it's going to require some physical means to do that, whether that's, again, radio or carrier pigeon or whatever. Magnetic messages stored in water, Zach. Just saying, whatever that is, we're going to need to find a way to do that. Because certainly, again, they hold the cards in that regard. And I will put it this way, again, at the risk of being accused of all sorts of stuff, is that if we are truly if we are fighting this battle on a spiritual battleground, right, then the tools of that are going to be spiritual and not physical. And so however it all plays out, it seems to me, from my perspective, that it is going to be a matter of it is going to be a spiritual conflict and not one of physicality. And so, while I certainly respect and admire those who have hardware, let's put it that way. I don't think that's going to be what wins the war, right? It serves a useful purpose at times, but I don't think that's going to ultimately changes the tide of things, right? I think that's ultimately going to be people's hearts and minds.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. Because you can't really change anything if the mindset doesn't change.
Agreed.
If the intention isn't good.
Agreed. I just, I'm at a place now where I just think that it is going to be of crucial importance that we have the opportunity for us to be together uninterrupted. So that we do physically get to be in the, same location. I'm sure they'll hear that and go, great, FEMA camp. FEMA camp 19 for you. I will say that as much as we joke about that, one thing that I know about these guys is that one of the first things that happens when it goes down is the first thing that they do is separate you. Right? They're not going to put you together so you can, come up with some secret plan. The first thing they're going to do is separate you.
Right,
That's what
exactly.
That's what they do. So don't get any grandiose
And this
ideas.
is where people think I'm crazy, but listen, this is where all the stuff that I've talked about in the past sort of comes into play. There is a thing called intuitive communication, and everybody needs to start practicing it now.
Yeah.
Decalcify your pineal gland. Start making connections with friends and practice telepathic communication. I swear to God, it works.
My wife and I do it all the time.
Listen, people need, you want to talk about uninterrupted private communication? It doesn't get any better than that.
And it works.
And it works. It really freaking works. It's not 100% accurate,
Nope.
but the more you do it, the better you become at it, the better you get at receiving those signals unscrambled.
Yeah, listening
Right?
closely. Yeah.
Because obviously the world has a ton of electromagnetic
Interference.
soup
Yeah.
frequencies everywhere, and we are sensitive to all of it, and we really have to start learning how to listen to your internal voice, your intuition, and those messages that you're receiving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here. And what's more, right? Even on the other side, right? Is it's true the other way around too. Even if you don't turn on your TV or listen to the radio, the negative information that's carried in that electromagnetic soup is already harming you, right? The intention, the vibration is there, whether you tune into it or not. It's already surrounding you. And so conversely, this works just as well. And I 100% agree with you, Karen, and have experienced it personally many, many times throughout my life. And I agree that you can improve it by focused intentionality. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have to start with somebody that you already have a really good connection with, and
Yep.
start from there.
Yep.
And just communicate with them. Don't be in the same room. Try to be far apart and try to communicate to each other. Just keep practicing it.
Absolutely. And then compare, right? And be honest.
Yeah, discuss after.
Yeah, and be
what you
honest.
got,
Don't
what you
just try to
saw.
make it up and be woo, right? Be honest about it, because you can. Again, my wife and I can be as explicitly specific as like grocery lists. Like, oh, I knew you wanted that.
Yeah.
Right? I was at the store. I knew you wanted that. And I would literally get out to the parking lot and then go, oh, I got a text. And she was asking for something to get something at the store. And I'm like, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew you wanted it. So, yeah, it does absolutely work. And so, yeah, I'll go back to saying I agree with that sentiment, and I approve of it. That so when I say that they may, the tools may be spiritual rather than physical, maybe rather than shortwave radio, we have this. Again, I don't know, but I do know that we need to be prepared. That's the number one thing, right, is to be prepared. And I do think, and again, hate to get off the path here, but I do think for me, the idea of being prepared most importantly includes a connection with your Creator. Right? If it is again a spiritual battle, then the teams are pretty well already chosen in terms of that. At least pretty clear. Right, who's involved, and so choose wisely, I guess is what I'll have to say there. Is I wouldn't pick a gray outfit at this point. You might want to think about that again. So we have that going, which is nice. See if I can find any other. There was the reason I've had this up here for so long. This thing about Harry Brandt being dead at 24. It's a sad story, of course. Socialite style setter. I'm never happy when people die, especially like this. The story itself is just one of his parents are his mom is one of the first supermodels. His dad's an industrialist. Him and his brother just basically from being kids were involved in the whole Met Gala stuff, so you can imagine what all that got up to. Died of a drug overdose, that sort of stuff. Here's he and his brother. Without getting into much of that, and you can just see how what great people they are here. You can just tell by looking in their eyes. Let's see if I can come over here, and if you can get a really close look in their eyes, and see what great people they are. They would help you if you needed help. But here's what I noted. I found this very interesting. This is from the New York Times. And we talked earlier about the author of an article. This is by Vanessa Friedman. And she puts her picture up there because she's not embarrassed of her story. But more so, writing for the New York Times, Vanessa Friedman is the Times fashion director and chief fashion critic. She was previously the fashion editor of the Financial Times. I wonder what the people at the New York Times think about her putting that on her byline. Her former employer. Isn't that odd, don't you think? It's like she's putting up her resume right there, like saying, I'm about to get fired. I'm looking for a job. I'm at the New York Times, and I used to be at the Financial Times. Contact me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I thought so. I just thought that was very odd. I noticed strange things like that. Washington State taps Starbucks for help with the COVID vaccine rollout. Why am I not surprised by that? Not a bit surprised that Starbucks would be involved in that kind of heinous fuckery, most foul.
What the fuck does a coffee company have anything to do with a vaccine rollout?
Hello.
Like, what the fuck?
Right, exactly. That's my point.
I need to get my nails done. I'm going to go over to the oil change place later. Mm-hmm. Like, what the hell?
And here's another one that was, to me, a contrived story from the outset. I was going to say we talked about this. It may have been me and you. I couldn't remember if it was Rose and I or you and I, but it might have been you and I a couple of weeks back. The 18-year-old in the Cayman Islands who was there visiting her boyfriend who was a competitive jet ski guy. Do you remember that story?
Oh, yes, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, so she was jailed for that. They were going to give her, 3 months. They let her out early. But again, the whole thing seems totally contrived and for this exact purpose, because I knew it was coming. Here it is. I deserved it. She was jailed for breaking COVID quarantine. She's learned her lesson. I'm so sorry. I learned my lesson. I should be good and wear the mask and social distance. I'll be good. Toby be good for Mazza.
That's insanity.
Yes, it is. Fake from the beginning. Psychic readings in the pandemic. Just talking about fake. But this is one I wanted to get to, ultimately, because this is happening right now.
Psychic readings and the pandemic.
Yes.
So now they're going to have psychics. What are they predicting? Like massive casualties?
Well, they've already predicted
huge waves.
Yeah, they predicted the third wave.
I'm sure they did.
Fauci's got his crystal ball out there. But this is one that I wanted to bring up because this is, I think, kind of the theme for today's Poppycock Report, right? Is to keep your wits about you. because although, again, it's reported in the New York Times, and we can be skeptical of everything they tell us, there is, of course, as we started out by saying, that there's some bits of truth even in the biggest lies. And so here we have this woman sentenced to 43 years for criticizing the Thai monarchy. Don't think that that's going to happen, not going to happen in some other place. We've been seeing this happen for decades in China. That people just disappear if they have negative things to say about the leadership there. That's a major part of their social credit score. In fact, one of the largest contributing factors to their score is what you say, and your attitude toward the government and its policies is a major factor in the social credit score that's been rolled out in China and is no doubt already here. And so the way you believe and your attitudes toward the government and its policies is going to be a major factor in your ability to travel freely, to be a part of society, to live. So you're being clearly told to kowtow or get bent. And that's why I say, fuck the fucking fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's coming here, right? The sentence to 43 years, fuck that. You're just going to disappear, right? He was a right-wing terrorist, right?
Right.
He was going to put on some horns and some face paint, and and when people put on the horns and the face paint, it's going downhill in a hurry. When they put on the opera horns.
Right?
Oh my God. I still can't get over that shit. I can't. I still am in shock that they actually pulled that out and expected people to believe it. I mean, I don't know. In contrast to the Apollo lander, maybe not. But oh dear.
Yeah.
But we have here we have Washington State again announcing partnership with companies including Starbucks, and Microsoft is, of course. Why are we not surprised that Microsoft is helping in Washington State as well? Inslee sets a goal of 45,000 COVID-19 vaccinations a day. Karen, can I come stay with you? I need to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. This sucks.
Most definitely.
Okay.
If they come at you with needles, you get your ass over here, stat.
All right. If they come at me with needles, the problem with that is that I'm not going to run. And that's the problem, right? Is that I won't run. Oh dear. Now what are we going to do? I'm in trouble. Because I won't run. Oh dear. And here's more warnings. Russian opposition leader Navalny calls for protest after court-ordered detention. Again, if nothing else, they're telling you, don't say no. Same with what's his name, Assange, right? That isn't a joke. I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's a lot of good people that support Assange, and I support the idea, I suppose, that's being presented, the same as I did with Snowden, right? Supporting the idea of, whistleblowing and doing that sort of stuff. But those guys, they're just not legit, man. It doesn't pass the sniff test for me. I just say, if Assange was real, man, he'd have been dead years ago. He'd have choked on a banana.
Yeah.
Day one. Same thing with Snowden. He'd have never made it out the building with a thumb drive.
Look at Dr. Carrie Mullis. Look at Brandy Vaughn. Those are two whistleblowers who had some serious shit to say about this whole thing. They were dead before it even began.
Gary Webb, yeah. I mean, and even Webb, I'm not sure is legitimate, right? I think that's just it's just one of those warning things, right? It's like a CIA operative playing a part to expose the CIA, to go, yeah, we told you we were doing it, and you didn't do anything about it as well. And then we play killed the guy, so we tell you, if you find out, don't say anything because you'll end up dead too. And that seems to me the whole point, right? The whole purpose of it is to say, we told you, right? It's one of those controlled leaks, right? It's a controlled hangout where they know they're caught, so they throw out a little bit of information. It mitigates any potential further blowback, and they go, "Yep, you caught us. There's the lie." right? So again, it's like, a cheating spouse saying that, yeah, I admit it. I spent $100 extra on a thing. I didn't want you to know. And so they've admitted to a lie, but not the lie. And so they've relieved the tension of, I knew there was something wrong, right? So they've relieved the tension, but they're not admitting to the actual lie. This is, a limited hangout kind of thing. And so this is exactly what they do. They go, oh, okay, so we'll admit to a little bit of it. Nothing ever comes of it, just like Snowden, right? Oh, yeah, the NSA is spying on everything you do. Oh, that's terrible. Crickets. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we spy on everything you do. Oh, yeah, that's still terrible. Okay. And that's it, right? And nothing ever comes of it. And so it's just a way for them to release that information to us because, again, if they hadn't wanted us to know, we would have never known. Because they control the media, and there's no question about it. Again, they're just like with the Masons and the Jesuits back at the end of the 19th, early part of the 20th century. Many of those involved do believe that they are true believers, really fighting those battles, right? Just like many of the participants in World War II, true believers, heroes, even fighting those battles that ultimately meant nothing. Right? Ultimately, those battles meant nothing. I mean, even if you were to buy the whole geopolitical world, right? They fought for 4 years, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people dying for what? Immediately, once the countries surrender, they become under the control of the other countries, and they're all friends again. They shake hands. Really? You died for that?
Yeah.
Like people died for that, so they could change a border. Right? Change the decimal after some fiat currency. Change the value of a currency. Really? For that? But that's all fucking war is ever about. Right? Power, control. Whose name is on what bill.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, it's
frustrating.
Good reason to die.
Frustrating.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Again, I try not to go down some of these paths because I know that they can be terribly dark and frustrating, right? But if you don't get a sense of some frustration when you look at this stuff, right? If that doesn't cause you some frustration, if you can look at it and just go,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
It's a good motivator. I mean, it motivated me to start doing what I'm doing.
well, and that's what again to me the best description. The best definition I've ever seen of anger, right, is a powerful motivation to correct injustice, a perceived injustice. And I think that's correct. It is a powerful motivator, right? I just like, fuck these guys, man. I don't want to sit here and watch it happen if there's anything that I can do about it. Now, again, on the other hand, there's no point in taking on, foolhardy action, right? So like me going, all right, fuck the government, man. I'm going to go blow up some government building. That's not going to help anybody. It doesn't do anything, right? That's not helpful. Which is, again, why, as we come back to the top of the hour, right? This is why I feel like the best thing for me to do is to pursue this idea of communal living, to try to help those in the community of similar like-minded people, that we try to do something for ourselves for as long as we have to do that. Again, given what we've seen so far, is it likely that ultimately they'll come break up the party? Yeah, absolutely. But I would rather have a party than not, right? And then sit around and wait for them. Because ultimately, if we sit around and wait for them, they will do whatever they want. They've proven it over and over again. They're going to do what they want, right? And so if all that is necessary for evil to exist is for good people to do nothing, well, I don't want that sin on my hands.
Exactly.
Right.
That's just it. Bad things happen when good men do nothing.
And so I won't take the stain of that sin on my hands. So I'm going to stand up and be counted. Fuck you, fucking fuckers. Fuck you.
Yep. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
Fuck every one of you fucking fuckers. Fuck you. I've had enough. So, you might as well come get me now. I won't shut up. Because I won't shut up until you do. So you make up your mind now. When are you coming to get me? Because I won't shut up until you do. So there's my chip on my shoulder. You might as well come get me now because I won't shut up until you do. So clock is ticking. Fuck you, fucking fuckers. Fuck you. Done with your bullshit.
Yeah, when he said fuck you.
1, 2, 3.
Fuck 'em.
Poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Poppycock, Poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take it, Trey. Like to block on Poppycock, ain't no Poppycock pins. You might just find yourself on Poppycock, waking with a Poppycock kin. And Poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Poppycock, Poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.